Where Angelo State softball found itself in some unfamiliar territory heading into the weekend, carrying a season-long 4-game losing streak. After heartbreaking losses versus West Texas A&M and Midwestern just a week earlier, this weekend the number 7 Red Bells prepared to hit the road once again, this time at UT Permian Basin on Friday, followed by Sul Ross State on Sunday. 2 pretty favorable matchups for ASU, given that UT Permian Basin entered Friday 1-23 in LSC play, while Sul Ross was 4-20. Snapping the losing streak wasn't the only thing on ASU's mind this weekend, though. Head coach Travis Scott also needed just 2 wins to reach 1,000 career wins.
We've got a great group of girls. I love coaching this team and still love coaching this team even after a rough weekend. And they're going to bounce back. They're going to respond, and they're going to do things the right way. But we just got a couple of little reminders about some things that we require them to do as individuals and as teams, but as a team. But I'm just still proud of the way they're representing this university and representing themselves, and we'll be okay.
Let's see how those went. Game 1 Friday, UT Permian Basin, the Red Bells end the 4-game losing streak with ease. ASU just dominates 10-1 in 6 innings. Amelia Hawthorne gets the win, improving to 8-1 in the season. Ashton McMillan also goes 2 for 2 at the plate, delivering an RBI double in the first inning. Travis Scott now just 1 win away, closing in on some history. And let's look ahead to Game 2. It's official. The Red Bells get the sweep with a 4-2 win, and head coach Travis Scott does it, reaching a milestone, 1,000 career wins. Scott becomes the first coach in Lone Star Conference history to reach this mark. Congratulations, Travis. Sunday, a new series. ASU wins again, dominating Game 1 at Sul Ross State, 13-4 the final. The Red Bells score 2 runs in the first inning and completely blow it open with a 5-run top of the second. It was in the fifth inning, Bree Waters hits her first career home run. And in Game 2, Leilana Applin and Tatiana Trotter each hit solo home runs in the first inning on back-to-back pitches. Cheyenne Floyd also gets the win. She's now 16-5 on the season, and ASU wins its 4th straight game. To the baseball diamond, the number 4 Rams came into the week winners of 6 straight games, looking to extend that streak on the road at Texas A&M Kingsville this weekend. Now, ASU came off a sweep of Texas A&M International, a series that included 2 blowout wins and also 2 comeback wins. We caught up with head coach Kevin Brooks ahead of the Kingsville series, who discussed the tough environment in Kingsville and how small ball will once again be a factor.
Always tough going down there. The air's heavy. The ball does not travel. It is much more of a pitcher's ballpark. They're going to do a lot of the small ball stuff, that we'll need to handle defensively. And then, free bases are going to be huge. And then hopefully we'll find a way to get a couple.
The number 4 Rams take care of business in Game 1 versus Kingsville, 7-0. Dax Dolphy pitches a complete game shutout, recording 7 strikeouts and allowing only 2 hits as the Rams cruise. Game 2, not much different. The Rams continue to pour it on. Justin Harris records 4 RBIs, including an RBI bunt single in the top of the 3rd inning and a 3-run homer in the 5th. Now, because the series was pushed back 2 days due to inclement weather in the Kingsville area, it will conclude tomorrow with games 3 and 4 as the Rams look for the sweep. Game 1, first pitch is scheduled for 1 p.m. with Game 2 expected to follow at 4 p.m. The Rams will have a short week of practice before returning to its home field on Friday for a series with St. Edwards. Over to tennis, the number 18 Red Bells return to their home courts this weekend, officially marking the start of conference play for the remainder of the 2025 regular season. ASU returned from a 3-match road trip in Lake Nona, Florida, one where they were definitely tested. ASU claimed the doubles point in each of those matches, winning 2 of them. Despite claiming doubles versus number 6 Flagler College, the Red Bells dropped 5 of the ensuing 6 singles matches, resulting in their first loss of the season. This week, ASU hoped to bounce back ahead of its 2nd LSC match of the season. Here's head coach Jason Ponoff with his thoughts ahead of the matchups versus Dallas Baptist and UT Tyler.
The Lone Star Conference is stacked this year, honestly. Every weekend is going to be super tough, and I'm really happy that we get to play these 2 at home this weekend, so that'll be nice. But yeah, there's not really a lot that we need to change. We just kind of got to, just sharpen some things up still.
Ponoff and the number 18 Red Bells looking to stay unbeaten at home this season and get back in the win column. Good start for ASU. The Red Bells get the early doubles point to lead 1-0, thanks to Avery Durham and Eva Schwartz winning their match 6-3, and Benny Reggiati and Margaret Renee winning theirs earlier by a score of 6-1. Singles started well for the Red Bells as Eva Schwartz won her match in straight sets 6-3, 6-3, and Margaret Renee won a 3-set thriller 6-3, 5-7, 6-1. Benny Reggiati took set 1 of her singles match but dropped the next 2. Yvette Stinsheva loses both sets. Jessica Lee cruises 6-1 in set 1 but drops the next 2. And Durham comes up short in a 3-set thriller 2-6, 6-4, 5-7. ASU fights hard all day, but it isn't quite enough as Dallas Baptist comes into town and gets the 4-3 win, handing the Red Bills their first home loss of the season. Very next day, Coach Pothoff and the Red Bills back home versus UT Tyler, looking to bounce back and end the losing streak. Things didn't go ASU's way early on, though, in doubles. Avery Durham and Eva Schwartz dropped their doubles match 6-1, and Benny Reggiati and Mark Renee lose theirs, too, by a final of 6-4. In singles play, Yvette Stensheva takes her match 3-6, 6-2, 6-2, a little comeback there, and Jessica Lee wins a thriller after dropping her first set 7-5. She comes back to win via tiebreakers each of the next 2 sets. Unfortunately, the Rambills couldn't capitalize the rest of the way. UT Tyler hands ASU its 3rd straight loss, this time by a final of 5-2. ASU track and field concludes its week in Austin. The Clyde Littlefield Texas Relay. Some notable highlights. Marie Schuler finishes tied for 14th in the women's hammer throw, reaching 56.7 meters. In the men's 400-meter hurdles time final, Marcus Wilson and Jomarcus Morelos finished 13th and 19th, respectively. Oleg Enenev finishes 2nd in the men's pole vault, reaching a height of a little over 5 feet. And in the women's 100-meter hurdles, Marisha Spence finishes 34th with a time of 14.5 seconds. Let's now take a tour around the newest facility in San Angelo. That is a new home for ASU Golf. The $5.2 million facility includes a state-of-the-art 3,600 square foot building, an extensive patio area, and an outdoor short game course. The building includes training areas, locker rooms, offices, restrooms, and even a golf simulator. ASU Athletic Director James Reed, ASU President Ronnie Hawkins, and Bell's head golf coach Barb O'Dale all spoke during the ribbon-cutting ceremony, and the ASU players put their skills on display. Next, the Red Bills head west to Tucson, Arizona for the WT Desert Invitational beginning Monday, March 31st. Mia Clark, Johanna Erling, Lacey Stevens, Kara Knight, and Caitlin Vanderkirk will compete as a team, while ASU's Kelsey Klein will compete individually.